I felt good. Oh, just really stretch it out. Welcome to chapter 164 of Memoirs of a Cool Dude. I forgot to see if anyone had sent in them this week, but keep sending them in. I forgot to check, but you know what? Doesn't matter, because today is 164 of a cool dude. Memoir, what did I say? Who cares, guys? Welcome to the podcast. Hope you're well. I hope your COVID lockdown is going well if you're in Victoria. I hope your real life is going well if you're anywhere else. If you're in Perth right now, you're probably just chilling. I saw a video of people hooking up on a floor of a nightclub in my friend's Instagram story from Perth. That is fucking some 2019 shit, man. That's crazy. The idea of tongue kissing a stranger, I mean, it's not for me. I'm very happily taken. But the idea of doing that purely hygiene-wise is frightening in Melbourne. I didn't even go near people at the supermarket, let alone shove your tongue down their throat. It's like we're living in two different worlds, you know? But look, guys, I'm getting over it. I'll be real. I don't even know what week of lockdown it is at this point. I actually haven't left the house in 3 days. Like, I usually go for runs and stuff, but I've just been slacking, focusing on online content, and all of a sudden, it's 72 hours without vitamin D. Yes. Or is it vitamin C? Which one's the sun? Dude, I don't even know. The sun is D. C is the little orange tablet that I take every morning, and oranges. And you know what? As a white guy who's never faced any sort of adversity in his life, I would just like to say, on behalf of all the other privileged people who listen to this podcast, time to stop the simulation. All right, it was fun for a bit, and now it's getting old. This whole bloody COVID prank they pulled, huh? I'm sick of it. I've actually, I lost the plot in a joking way, I think, in the last few months, and now I'm actually at the point where I'm like, this sucks, and I'm not having fun. This year is, I was thinking about it, man. This year has gone so quick. I don't know if that's relatable to anyone. Maybe it's because I've been just knuckling down and trying to get as much work done as possible, but this year has just gone so quick because it's all blended together. In my memory, it just seems like one mush of a memory where I'm like, I woke up, and then I ate, and then I edited, and then I did this, and then I went to bed. You know, and it's just like the same thing. It's like Groundhog Day over and over and over. And I don't really have many fond memories since March. I can't remember anything amazing happening. Good stuff has happened, but I can't remember anything that was awesome, you know, which is pretty disappointing. Even the group chat amongst the boys has just become it's just the quality's lowered, but that's just the standard now. I was Zooming with a couple of mates last night, Saturday night, right? We're having some beefs. We're having some beers, and I realized that I became the guy that I never wanted to become at a party or in any social situation. I became the guy who started talking about podcasts he's listened to that week. I was like, yeah, did you hear the episode of Joe Rogan with David Blaine? And now that's my identity. I'm only as interesting as my last podcast that I listened to. And that is a grim reality to face when you're just reciting things that Joe Rogan said once on a podcast to your friends. That's when you need to get out. It's when you need to start conversing more with other people, because my life has just become something that I never wanted it to, which is that, you know? I used to despise those people at parties, you know? There may actually be some of those people who listen to this, because you guys are podcast listeners. I mean, I doubt you recite anything I say to another person. I don't think I say anything worth repeating on this podcast. This podcast is great to turn your mind off for 45 minutes, but I'm assuming you guys probably listen to other podcasts as well. And, you know, there might be some other stuff where you just like, maybe I've offended a few of you. You know, maybe that is your personality and you are only as interesting as your last podcast. And if this is the only podcast you listen to, you are probably the most boring person alive. Like, what are you going to tell someone like, oh, man, you know, like this guy Luke, and they go, who's that again? You know, that comedian who does the, you know, yeah, with the glasses. Oh, yeah, I know him. Right, well, he was talking about his weeds the other day, and he's also got a recycling issue at the moment. His bins think it's Christmas right now, but it's just lockdown. And he said this pretty funny thing about giving CPR to his bin. And then what do your friends say after that? Fuck off. And then they delete you from the chat. So, yeah, I hope you guys are coping better than I am, because it is pretty funny, I guess. It's got to the point where it's just fucked, man. Like, I need to do something else. I need stand-up back, or I'm just going to get bored. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I can't have a conventional life. I've realized. Like, that's why I went into this life where I travel all the time and every day is a new adventure. You know, I'm like Bilbo Baggins at the start of The Hobbit. We're going on an adventure. And that's my brain all the time. But at the moment, I can't, like, now I just walk out of my bedroom and go to the kitchen and I'm like, oh, we're going to the fridge, you know? And it's not nearly as exciting as I'd like it to be. But I guess, you know what? These aren't real problems, man. Some people have got COVID. Some people are homeless right now. And you know what? That's fine. And I shouldn't be complaining. But you know what? Fuck you. I am also going to complain. I'm very indecisive today. Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about last week. I stumbled across something truly unbelievable on this podcast. And it's to do with you guys who listen. I kind of just threw it away casually. I said, my ideal listener of this podcast is someone with Ugg boots on, with their feet up, tracky pants, and a stain down their top. And I think I put some emphasis on pretty much everyone who listens to this podcast must have a stain on them. And maybe I thought that would connect with a few people. You know, I thought, a few people might be like, Luke, I've got a stain. Oh boy, I think I've found my audience, guys. We are the grubbiest podcast community in the world. Definitely in the country, but maybe on a global scale, because I got some international grubs hitting me up on the emails as well. Even just check the comment section on the last episode. It was great to hear. Here's a few comments that were just left under the last episode, right? Savoy Boy said, I really am wearing trackies, have a small stain on my shirt, and now I have my feet up. You really know us well. So I've hit the bloody nail on the head. And then someone replied, Megs replied with, I'm the exact same and I'm not ashamed. Love that. And then Jamie said, watching this wearing trackies, lying in bed, and I have a vom stain across my food. Wait, I have a vom stain because of food poisoning. See, not only are you guys grubs, but you guys are kind of proud of it. You know, like, yeah, I fucking munted on myself, and now I'm typing it on YouTube. And yeah, someone else said, kind of sketched me out when he fucking pinned my exact position and clothing. So it turns out, guys, that you guys are just like me. You shave once a week, you grubs, you come in here with a stain. I'm embarrassed, I'll be honest. Now I feel a little self-conscious. I woke up this morning and I put a clean top on today. And now I feel a little bit self-conscious about it. You know, there's no spag bowl stains on it. No pasta, no remnants of mincemeat at all on the sleeves. I feel kind of like you guys are judging me a little bit. You're like, yeah, you think you're better than me, huh? I just imagine there's people listening to this. Yeah, right. All right, Luke's fucking sold out. Where's the stained Luke we all loved and enjoyed, all right? We loved you for who you were when you were covered in a food from a week ago. It's great, though. And I would like to start a movement on this podcast, okay? We need to normalize stains, especially in 2020. If there was ever a time to make stains okay, to just make it normal, right? We get it. You're not allowed to leave the house. The only reason you should see, like, even if you go to the supermarket, man, I see some guys walking around with stains on their trackies. I'm like, fuck yes. All right? This is COVID season. All right? There is actually no excuse to be wearing clean clothing. We probably do a 1 load of washing a week here at the moment, you know? I didn't have a shower yesterday. Now, I know it started off being kind of funny and now it's just getting grubby, but I didn't do anything, you know? I had a shower the night before and then had a shower this morning. So I just went like 36 hours, 2 sleeps and a day without showering. But I didn't really do anything. I didn't get sweaty, you know? And I think we should just normalize that, guys. So maybe we could start up like a little hashtag, you know, sound off below. Hashtag maintain the stain, you know? If you're thinking about throwing your clothes in the washing basket, write it out for 1 more day. All right? I want to see some, you know, thick old stains hit up in my inbox. All right? Hashtag show us your stains this week, right? I feel like now I need to spill something on me just so I can be a part of this movement. You know, I would love if they just made a new government initiative, you know, compulsory masks, fair enough. All right? I agree. But also compulsory stains in Victoria or in Melbourne and the Mitchell Shire area. Okay? We need to have compulsory stains at all times. The slogan can be like, remain, maintain, and sustain the stain. And then it's just like up on a billboard somewhere. That'd be great. So, yeah, if we could just like, I guess if we could be the pioneers and the front runners of this stain movement, that would be great, because I just think it's so weird. Like, you see these Instagram models, like, you know, I see them on my Explore page. They're like posting like, oh my God, lockdown day 36. And they're in like clean active wear and they're like outside. And I'm like, dude, my backyard sucks. It's full of weeds. I do have an update on that, and it's actually not full of weeds anymore. That's the update. Hint alert, the war may be over. But anyway, when I say hint, I just gave away the thing. That was like every movie trailer then, when I meant to give you a teaser, but I gave away the entire plot of a future story. Oops. The point is, right, people are setting unrealistic expectations online. You know, they're going like, oh, look at me like during lockdown. They got a full face of makeup and 0 pasta stains. And I'm like, yeah, right. You must have face tuned out a fucking little bit of, you know, a little bit of shum on your chin, you know? So where's the posts in the Ugg boots, you know? And then if they do, you know, if these Instagram models do post like a picture of them in Ugg boots, they're always like the goddamn cutest Ugg boots ever, you know? No one ever posts the picture of their Ugg boots. Why do Ugg boots always break at the back? Or is that just the ones from Target that I used to get as a kid, man? I used to have these Ugg boots and they, like, the heel of them just used to fall off. Isn't that the most relatable shit ever? Or was that just me? Dude. Anyway, so hashtag maintain the stain. We're normalizing stains, all right? This is a grub cast at this point. I haven't shaved in a week, and Meg's cooking another pasta tonight, okay? So I'm going to have a pretty grubby next 3 days, unless I eat it without spilling it, which we eat on the couch every night because we watch Rick and Morty, right? So we're not going to end The Office. We're not going to not spill shit on us while eating on a couch. And we don't own trays. Why? Because I'm not a baby, all right? I mean, I eat like one, but I'm not one. So, you know, whatever. Oh, man, I'm delirious. This is my mood 24/7. I just walk around the house. I'm like, sometimes I'll just see Meg and stick my tongue out at her because, like, she's the only person I see. Like, we live together, just the two of us, and sometimes we'll just walk around and be like, and it's so funny. It's crazy that we're still getting along. Like, we never, like, have fights or anything. Like, we'll just walk around the house and just be gross, you know? We just spill shit on ourselves and we just laugh and we're like, oh. It's actually so childish. Like, and I don't know, it's funny. Like, we work really hard, like, on making videos and stuff and content, but then everything else in our life is a fucking mess, you know? We need like maybe I should sell. I just thought of some awesome podcast merch. I should sell bibs. And you guys just, it's like, has like the podcast name, hashtag maintain the stain on the bib. And you guys just put it around you while you eat. Sound off below if you'd buy a Luke Kidgell maintain the stain bib from lukekidgell.com. And I might do a limited pre-order. Because I don't think they'll fly off the shelves. But yeah, let me know if you'd buy some bib merch. And then we can have some stained up bibs. And I like to imagine that people would just listen to this podcast with their feet kicked up, Ugg boots on, with their maintain the stain bib on, so they don't have to wash their clothes. Oh man, that's good. I like that. Man, I need to plug the TikTok. Okay, the podcast is a TikTok. Search Luke Kidgell podcast on TikTok. I made one, and boy, oh boy, it is not off to a flyer. I'll be honest, I think we're not even up to 300 followers. It's actually a bit embarrassing and a little bit sad at the moment. Hang on, I've just got to check. I don't really check it much, but we post on it like every day. Me and Reese, man, we put a lot of effort. We've already posted like 11 TikToks on it. And, you know, you're going to get it's podcast clips, right? But you're going to get some new ones and also some of the great classic hits that you mightn't have heard, or if you're new to the podcast, you get some old gold on there as well. Some clips from like podcasts, you know, in the past. So yeah, definitely jump on there because currently it's pretty embarrassing. It's definitely sad. 277 followers. It makes me miserable. So go over, follow Luke Kidgell podcast. We need to get to at least 1,000. Otherwise, I feel like I've wasted my time and money investing into paying someone to run a Luke Kidgell podcast TikTok account. So yeah, definitely go follow it. Man, I've got so much shit to talk about. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, this morning I watched, there's so many movie trailers released all of a sudden. And I don't know why. Maybe I'm not in the loop with what's happening in Hollywood right now. But I was under the impression that Hollywood and the movie world would just be fucked for like 2 years straight because they're not making any movies. There's like no productions really happening, I don't think. They stopped Star Wars and all these massive productions shooting. And they also like put off a bunch of movies that were going to be released, but then cinemas got shut. So then like Fast and Furious 8 or 9 or whatever they're up to now, that got delayed. And man, I feel for these Hollywood stars, you know? It's like, give it 2 more years of no vaccine and Vin Diesel's going to be on JobKeeper real quick, you know? He needs that stimulus package stat, okay? The pacifier royalties aren't going to be paying too much, you know? It's lucky for him that he also co-created one of the biggest movie franchises in the world. So he'll probably be fine, but, you know, I feel for the man. Hashtag pray for Vin. That's so weird that his name's just Vin. Like that's, I don't know, it's kind of a name. That's crazy. That's a stage name, right? There is no way his last name is Diesel and he also drives cars. That cannot be a coincidence, right? He's the star of Fast and Furious. You know, that would be like if The Rock's name was Dwayne Unleaded, you know, like all Dwayne Vortex Fuel, Dwayne 95 Unleaded or 96 Premium. Hang on, what is Vin Diesel's? I've just got to search this up. What is Vin Diesel's real name? Mark Sinclair. Yeah, I don't know why I ever thought that was his real name. It was just the first time I'd ever actually thought about it. It's probably the first time I've ever thought about Vin Diesel for more than 2.5 seconds, you know? God damn, that's so funny, man. That he's just like, he chose Vin Diesel. Like, fair enough, Diesel is the last name. Of course him, like a guy that looks like that. That dude looks like Mr. Potato Head. Of course, a human being that looked like Mr. Potato Head wanted his last name to be Diesel. That's so funny, man. You know Ludicrous's real name's just come up here? People also search for Ludicrous's real name is just Christopher Bridges. That's crazy. But even, like, that's the thing. Ludicrous, you got to respect it. It is a ludicrous name to give yourself. It's in the name. But Vin Diesel is just lame, you know? What would my stage name be? Probably like, I kind of like it's like, you know, it would be something like, you know, Alfred Phoenix. Probably not Alfred. That's not cool. It'd be like a name that's not even real, like Charger Phoenix. You know, that would like be my stage name if I was an actor. Like, man, have you seen Charger Phoenix's new film? And it's just me on like this movie poster looking like Mr. Potato Head. Like, oh, you know, I will shave my head by this point because I'm going bald, you know. I'm actually not balding. My hairline is actually the best thing about me. How fucked up is that when you wake up in the morning and you realize that all you've got going for you is a few thousand YouTube followers and a great hairline, you know? And that's literally why I'm so confident. That is the only thing holding together my ego right now. Look at that. If you're in, damn, that's a good hairline. My granddad was 92 and died with a full head of hair. I am set. All my grandparents have hair. Yes, my gene pool are hairy motherfuckers, okay? And, man, I wish I was sponsored by Manscaped right now because that would be the best intro. I never actually hit them up for my podcast. I was supposed to. Damn it. That would have been such a good segue, you know? We got that Luke and Lewis sponsorship. I hate that I just gave him a free shout-out. Fuck. What was I talking about before I started talking about Vin Diesel? Oh, I watched some movie trailers this morning, right? And it was Wonder Woman 1984, the second Wonder Woman. I think it might be a prequel. I don't know. I forget when the last one was set, to be honest. Although, no, the last one was set in the war, so maybe it's a sequel. And Batman, the new one with Robert Pattinson as Batman. And I think I was like many people. I was skeptical of a new Batman. I'll be honest, I never even saw Ben Affleck as Batman. I just missed those ones. The last Batman I saw was Christian Bale, and it was sick, right? Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, that was all right, but, you know, strong sequels. And they're some of the best movies I've seen, you know. They're some of my favorite movies. So I never watched the Batman vs. Superman ones because I was just like, I don't give a shit about Ben Affleck, and everyone says it was air. And then... yeah, and now I'm probably going to go watch... I probably should watch the Ben Affleck ones. But yeah, Robert Pattinson, it's like... he's not buff enough. It's kind of like if I got cast as Batman. You know? I guess I'm probably even skinnier than Robert. But you'd just be like, no, that guy's not good for the job. If I got cast as Batman, I would politely decline. Out of respect for the DC comics, you know? I'd be like, look, I'll be honest. I can't be bothered to hit the gym for a decade before this role. So I'm probably not the best guy for the role. But man, I watched the trailer and it really turned me around. It looked cool. Kind of like a darker Tim Burton vibe. Is that the guy's name? The guy who like did The Corpse's Bride, that film that freaks me out. Yeah, Tim Burton. He's the guy like Edward Scissorhands dude. And man, he kind of gave me that vibe because he looks like when he takes the mask off, he's got like eyeliner around it because of the black on the mask. And it's just like Robert Pattinson is so pale. He's like Daniel Radcliffe pale, you know? Is he British? Robert Pattinson? I have no idea. I forget how he talks. Or is he American? Man, I'm looking up so many things today. He's not British, is he? Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I doubted it. I was about to say he's like the most British-looking person I've ever seen. And then I was like, oh, but maybe he's American because he's in American films. Idiot. Right? So, yes, he's British because he looks like Daniel Radcliffe. And British people look the same, right? They look like me, you know? Geez, when you look at a picture of Robert Pattinson on a bad day and then you look at me, you can really tell we were convicts of there, huh? Can't ya? I'm like convict Robert Pattinson. You know, if he was put on a boat for 6 months and got scurvy. And, man, the trailer looked cool. I'll be honest, like the Riddler was the villain in the new film, and I think they're still shooting it. But man, he looked like when he took off the mask, he had this eyeliner on, and he looked like every single frontman in every single emo band that I listened to growing up. He looked like kind of like Jared Leto in 30 Seconds to Mars, and also Jared Way in My Chemical Romance during like the Black Parade era. You know, it was like, when I was a young bat, my father's butler took me into Gotham City because my real dad's dead. Dun, dun, dun. And he said, son, when you grow up, your only friend will be an old man named Alfred and some girl that dresses like a cat. Dun, dun. It looks so emo, man. I'm excited for emo Batman. It's something that we've never had with the character, you know? I hope there's a scene where, you know, he's up against the Riddler, and instead of fighting him with raw strength, because let's be honest, it's Robert Pattinson, you know? Instead of fighting him with punches and kicks, he just like starts doing screamo, you know? He just starts like all pouring out his emotions on paper and putting them into song, and the Riddler just gets so fucking, you know, he gets so in the feels that he's like, man, you're right, dude. We're all just like 15-year-old kids in the end, but we've all just grown up now, you know? Because that's like the whole genre of pop punk. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare, but I'm actually 25, but probably more accurately nearing on 30. And they're still singing about being in year 9. Weird. But, yeah, I'm excited, dude. I hope there's a scene where he just locks himself in a room and he's got pictures of like Fall Out Boy and like metalcore bands, and then just like, you know, and he just like sits there and plays acoustic guitar, you know? That would be so good. He just starts playing Blink-182. I'm sick of always hearing. That would be great. So yeah, emo Batman. It's a thing. Get around it. I'm excited. Wonder Woman seems pretty standard, but emo Batman, guys, get around it. It's going to be a real... I think they're actually setting it when he's younger. Like, I think it seems like he's supposed to be like a younger Batman. I don't know, like a teenage angsty Batman. So they nailed the look, and hopefully they just nailed the film. But I don't know how they're going to finish all these films. Like, isn't Hollywood shut down now? Like, the movie industry is going to fall apart. Next year, there may not be like any good entertainment, depending on how COVID goes in the US and stuff. We'll just be like looking to, I don't know, films made in Perth. Like, where are we going to make movies now? There's might be any entertainment. I actually think it might destroy Hollywood. Like, they will no longer, because man, cinemas mightn't be open anymore, or at least to the point that they are now. They might have to be like socially distanced, and the world's going to come back changed, and they may not actually have the budget to make all these huge films, like these big blockbusters anymore. It could be pretty interesting to watch what happens, because it actually could destroy Hollywood as we know it. And then it might become more of like a thing where you get like, where you watch those like Netflix original shows more, and those Netflix movies that don't have as high a budget. But I guess it's cheaper to make good movies now anyway. Because, you know, those things are getting more affordable than back in the day. Yeah, so before we get into unpopular opinions, I got to talk about this, man. This girl from my high school this week, right? She wasn't even in my year. I don't even know why I follow her on Instagram. I think we like had a class together once. I don't know. But you know, you still follow those people from in your past because you just kind of want to know how their life pans out. You're now just in it for the journey. Like, you don't speak to these people. You wouldn't even make eye contact with them in the street. And if you did, you'd make eye contact with each other and then look away quickly and be like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. You know those people that you follow on social media that you kind of just like, I know who you are, don't want anything to do with you, right? And that's not mean. It's more just like, we've both got our own lives, and to be honest, we probably still shouldn't be following each other on social media, because I do like to keep my circles pretty tight. But there's some people that you're like, God, I want to know, you know, how early in your life you get pregnant. That's just what I'm there for at this part. I want the story. I want that arc. So yeah, this is one of these girls that I follow, right? Don't really speak to her much. She just posted on her Instagram story. It was like her in her backyard, you know, a picture of her backyard with like a cup of tea. And then she said, there's beauty in doing nothing. You can't just say shit and have it mean anything. Just because you put words together, it doesn't mean it actually means anything, you know? You can't just say there's beauty in doing nothing. It's like, I get what she means. I'm not an idiot, right? I understand that she's like, you know, sometimes it's good to just stop and take it in. I get it, right? But you can't just be like, there's beauty in doing nothing. And she put some little sparkles underneath it. It's so obnoxious. It was like she wanted to like highlight how fucking stupidly not profound it was, you know? She put these little sparkles underneath the text, and it just angered me so much. I just read that and I was like, there's beauty in doing nothing. And I was like, no one's ever just walked past the Centrelink queue and just been like, oh, it's beautiful. You know, look at all these people doing nothing. God damn, it's gorgeous. You can't, I don't know. Some people just say shit, man. Some people like, you can't just put together words like in a random order. Like if I was like, you know, my refrigerator is charismatic. You'd be like, what? Does it have a cool look to it? It's like, no, that just doesn't mean anything. I just said a thing and put it on my Instagram story, you know? Like, you just see random vague quotes on Instagram. And I know it's like not a new thing, but I saw the other one. Oh yeah, there's another girl. It's never dudes, by the way. Okay, this is generalizing heaps, but I never really see a dude post a picture that just has the caption like, there's a whole world out there. And then there's never a guy that does that. Guys will just do even shitter stuff where they're like in their bathroom, like with their top off, like going like, and then their like cover photo is just like a V8 supercar that they could never drive because they're still in their L's and like, I'm not saying guys are any better. I'm just saying we're different. You know, guys are so unique. Unique in the sense that we're all the same. But yeah, girls, man, on Instagram, and I think it's gotten worse during COVID because a lot of people have turned to social media, and fair enough, I have too a bit. It's my job now. Like it always was my job, but it was always like a component of my work. It was always like, you know, I have this social media following, and that really helps sell stand-up tickets. But my main thing is like go out and do stand-up 4 nights a week while juggling this online thing. And now it's just online. So I get it. They've turned to social media to connect with people during this time when people are feeling lonely. Perfectly understandable. But as a result of that, there is now an influx of dog shit captions just ruining my Instagram feed. Of girls you just can't say shit is my point. You can't just be like, leaves are green, you know? It's like, it doesn't mean anything. You know, there's beauty in doing nothing. You know? There was one, this is an actual one, I'm not making this up. There was one that just said, hope is false. What? What do you mean? Like, who hurt you? Hope is false. One time I believed in something, but it turns out that's not real. They just put words together and they're like, that's a caption. And it blows my mind. And people go like, so true, babe, underneath. And you're like, what's true? Didn't even fucking make sense. What are you talking about? You can't just say hope is false. What? That's like me saying, you know, lying is the truth. You're like, what? You just contradicted yourself. That would be a good Instagram caption though, in this realm, you know? You just like say really contradictory statements all the time. Like, believing is actually not having faith. And everyone will be like, and then there'll be a bunch of people who read that and go, oh my God, that's so true. That is like, you just like hit me on this deeper level. I've just word vomited, you know? That is the stain of Instagram. That's what that is. Dude, that's insane. You can't just say shit. It made me laugh so much. When I read beauty is nothing, I was like, dude, there's a beauty in doing nothing. Shut up. Do something. you know what? The fact that you said there's a beauty in doing nothing, you ruined it. You actually ruined it, because if you were just actually having a peaceful tea on your balcony, there actually is a beauty in that. There is a beauty in just sitting there and getting a breath of fresh air and being like, you know what? It's a crazy time, 2020. No one knows what's happening. Everyone's a bit scared. Everyone feels vulnerable. There is beauty in sitting down and having a nice moment, but you've ruined it by putting it on your Instagram story. Now you're doing something, and thus the beauty is gone. You know, I don't want to rain on your parade, but I just did. So maybe I did want to rain, okay? The chances, right? If I follow you on Instagram and you post something shit, okay, the forecast is a little bit of drizzle on your parade, because I will rain on it. Not publicly. I'll just rant about it on my podcast like a proper person that wouldn't say it to your face. Okay? All right. Now let's just bloody wind it down here, okay, with some unpopular opinions. Now, this is a segment that I came up with on the podcast last week. I think I said something controversial, and I thought, you know what? This is what the world needs right now. We just need some, because one thing I think a lot of us are really sick of is all of a sudden now online, I think this is the main reason behind the segment, is that it's a fun segment, but there is a for real reason behind it, right? One of the things, that pisses me off online is that people think they either have to agree or disagree with something. And I want to just train you guys, right, into just hearing a thing and going, oh, well, I disagree, and that's fine. You know, I think it's just a good exercise in general to just hear a thing you disagree with and then move on with your life. It will actually help everyone who listens to this in life. So this is a little fun little ditty I came up with called Unpopular Opinions. Now, that sounded like I was about to throw it to an intro. I don't, but this segment is a fun little ditty, right? This first controversial opinion, and by the way, I just read your guys' controversial opinions, and then nothing happens. And that's the way the world works, right? We just read it out and we go, that's pretty controversial. And I might even agree. Some of them that came through in the email, I didn't think they were that controversial. I agreed. But maybe that's why, maybe I'm in the wrong. So you guys are, you're going to just hear some shit you may not agree with. First one came in from Tricky Nicky on the Discord in my Patreon. If you want to go support this podcast, jump on my Patreon. It's the best way to do it. Unpopular opinion, it's okay to have pineapple on pizza. And people that passionately hate pineapple on pizza neglect their inner childhood. Now, personally, I read this, couldn't have disagreed more. I hate pineapple on pizza. I think it's not okay. You're putting fruit on a pizza. It's disgusting, right? But that's it. There's nothing I can do to change this person's mind. And guys, what's the lesson we've learned here? Is that Tricky Nicky is wrong as fuck and I'm superior. Okay? All hail Luke. My opinion is the best. But man, the only problem I did have with this is people who don't like pineapple on pizza are neglecting their inner childhood. I've actually hated pineapple my whole life. So I'm actually staying true to my childhood. If I actually started eating pineapple on pizza, then I would be neglecting my inner childhood. Because 10-year-old Luke will be like, but Luke, we must not put fruit on a pizza. And even still, adult Luke agrees. Imagine if you just cut up bits of pear or apple and then chucked them on a pepperoni or a ham and cheese. That's what Hawaiian is. It's just fruit, if you think about it, Imagine just chucking bits of orange on a pizza and being like, gobble up. It's fucked up. But you know what? Each to their own. And I respect it, Tricky Nicky. And that's what this segment's all about. Unpopular opinions. And fuck damn, that is unpopular. Or at least to me. Here's one from Charlie. Take me. Now, this one will fucking split the room because this one steamed me off, right? Take Me Home. This is the problem with this segment. It just is kind of designed to make the listener and myself angry, which I didn't really think about. Take Me Home Country Road by John Denver is massively overrated. It's still an alright song, but doesn't deserve the amount of hype it gets. You know what, Charlie? Part of me wants to agree with you, but the other part of me is like, fuck, I love that song so much. Take me home to a place where I belong. Compliment Luke down below. Compliment my voice. And scene. Wow, that was powerful. Yeah, dude, Charlie, that's some pretty controversial shit. And guys, feel free to get heated about these in the comment section, you know? After all, this is a podcast. It is on the internet, you know? Originally, I guess this exercise was designed for us to overcome, but I know for a fact everyone's first instinct will want to be to fucking let people know about their opinion below, and I kind of respect that. That is what the internet is for. It's what it's become, so I guess there's no reason in fighting it. Scratch what I said earlier about this becoming an exercise to better yourself as a person. I hope these opinions make you all fucking angry. This one comes in from Charles Smith. And this one steamed me. Oh, no, sorry. This one I agree with. But it is unpopular, I think. Hey, Luke. Love listening to your podcast. Thanks, mate. My unpopular opinion is that plain cinnamon donuts are better than jam donuts. Charles Smith, you're a brave man. I also think that, but I wouldn't say it in public. Okay? That's one of the ones you keep to yourself, you know? Just like when you have a really fucking, you know, funny but bigoted thought, you know? You're going, oh, I can't say that, but fuck, it's a good one, you know? Just like that, man. I also love plain cinnamon donuts. They're my favorite type of donut, and donuts are pretty much my favorite dessert. So I would say plain cinnamon donuts might actually be one of my favorite foods in the world. But it doesn't mean I don't like jam donuts. Nothing better than sitting at the footy, cold day, you got the scarf on, the D's are down by 50 points because that's been my whole childhood, and you just smash into a hot jam donut. The sugar fucking gets all over your fingers. You do these, boys. And I'd also like to normalize finger licks. Actually, if you guys could all just send, this is completely unrelated, it just reminded me, Keelan from Luke and Lewis he fucking hates people licking their fingers. It's really weird. I don't know why. So if you guys could just not don't tell him that I told you to do this, but just send him videos of you all licking your fingers, like just like Dorito dust or something off your fingers. If you got a pack of Twisties and you're about to lick it, just film it and send it to Keelan on Instagram, please. And I want to see how long it takes him to mention it to me. Don't tell him that I told you to do it. That'll ruin it. Okay, don't be the ruiner of fun. But just send Keelan. His name's it's just at Keelan on Instagram. He hates that noise for some reason. I don't know why. It's not that annoying. But I guess that is a popular opinion. Who knows? Anyway, Charles, thanks very much for the submission. I'll read a couple more and then we'll wrap it up. This one is fucking wild. This one comes from Sam Littress. I hope his middle name's Clit. That'd be great. Sam Clitris. And everyone's like, where is he? You know, can't find him. He's fucking lost. This one comes in from Sam and says, bananas are fucking disgusting. Not the texture, it's the flavor. Regards, Sam Littress. Wow. That's crazy. Bananas are great. I probably eat sometimes 2 bananas a day. Sometimes I OD on potassium, man. I love a banana, okay? And I would say the texture is the weirdest part about a banana because it's so different from any other food. It's like, and the reason why I love a banana, so convenient, man. Whenever you're hungry and you got like 30 seconds tops, and I'm a busy guy, you know, lockdown, haven't had work in 7 months. I'm finding myself a lot of time just going, uh-oh. Quick, I've only got 30 seconds to eat a snack. Banana me up, stat. And I smash it down, right? Make eye contact with everyone while I'm doing it, right? Because I'm comfortable with my sexuality. And I fucking just and choke on it while I eat it, right? And I would say the flavor, would be the best part about it. The texture's a little odd, but each to their own, Sam, and that's why this segment exists. Unpopular opinions. Keep sending them in. We'll end it here. I'll try and get to the rest of them next week. We got a lot of submissions, but keep sending them in because I fucking love reading these. This one's from Nathan Little, right? Probably Stuart's brother. I think Nathan's a mouse. Pineapple lumps fucking suck. Honestly, fuck pineapple lumps so hard. Now, this one, I don't know what the fuck that was. Turns out this one's for the New Zealand listeners in. Not often do they get their time in the sun on this podcast, the New Zealand folk, right? But yeah, pineapple lumps fucking suck. Apparently it's like this, it's a lolly. It's like a Cadbury lolly. I looked it up. It looks like a pineapple crunchy for everyone in Australia. And you know what, Nathan? I don't think that sounds controversial at all. I looked at him and I went, I do not want to fucking try that. Imagine a pineapple crunchy. That's nasty. So, yeah, agree with you there. There's definitely some more controversial opinions that we'll get to next week. But, that was Controversial Opinions week 1. Keep them coming in. Love just saying unpopular shit and then just sitting in that energy. It's great to see. Did I have anything else? Oh, yeah. I'll quickly end it with the Youre update. Pretty exciting stuff. And I said it a few weeks ago, I don't want to jump on, I guess, a bandwagon, my own bandwagon, and call an early win of the war. But it's become official. And, guys, I'm very pleased to say it. The weeds have fallen back. And thus, I would like to announce the end of Weed War 1. I bloody won the war. And it was a long struggle, all right? There was many times where I thought I would just move house and forfeit, you know? I was like, I'm going to sign the treaty here and just back off. But I hung in there, and I appreciate your support. And I think the people who are fighting weed wars of their own over the last few months, that really kept me in there, knowing I wasn't alone in the trenches. At the end of the day, I came out with a win, and full credit to the boys. So really appreciate everyone who stuck by me throughout these wars. And when I say I've won until spring. You know what I mean? Currently, I'm the winter soldier, right? I've been out there in the rain, in the dew, in the frost. Let's be honest, I usually wait for a sunny day. I don't like getting out there in the rain. But I've been out there when it's been tough, and I think I've won till spring. Now I hope, and if the weed thing I used properly works, they shouldn't grow back at all. But I've definitely won till spring, and I pray to God we don't need to have a weed war 2. Because my backyard has seen enough senseless violence for now. And I think it's time to stop, and many weeds have fallen. And at this point, I've got so much fucking grass on my hands that, it's hard to sleep with that amount of guilt. So, hope you guys have a bloody great week. I've won the weed war, so I'm on a bit of a high. Also losing the plot. Hang in there if you're in Victoria. Stay safe. And to everyone else who's not in lockdown right now, I'm fucking jelly. And to be honest, I cannot wait to get back to stand-up comedy soon. Really appreciate you all showing the support and love on the videos. And I can't wait to come and, see you guys. And you know what's really cool? I've so many people message me saying they've just discovered me during this lockdown period. They're like, man, I just started watching your stand-up. I'm so shitty that I can't come see you live. And man, I can't wait to meet all these people, new people, once this shit is over, dude. And hopefully, like, I'll be doing stand-up in Melbourne. Like, if you're in Melbourne in particularly, as soon as we can. Even if the Victoria borders are closed, hopefully, like, you know, we can run a little night with, like, socially distanced, safe event. Frenchie's been doing them in Sydney, but I'm not going to do it until it's actually safe and not irresponsible to do. So, hope you guys are well. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to support the podcast, the best way to do that is on Patreon. We'll have more Bachelor videos up this week, and I'll also film some Amiga ones, so they'll be coming soon. See you guys later.